Obsession is the brand new Blumhouse movie that is just hitting theaters today. The film is written and directed by Curry Barker, and the film stars Michael Johnston as Bear, who is currently doing okay in life, but he is very much in love with one of his co-workers, Nikki, who's played by Indy Navarrete. Hope I'm saying her name right. And they keep going out to drinks with their friend Sarah, played by Megan Lawless, and Ian, played by Cooper Tomlinson. They do these trivia nights, and Ian keeps telling Bear to be honest with her and tell her how much you actually like her more than friends. But when he finally has a chance to, he does not pull the trigger, but he gets a wish thing where if he breaks it in half and makes a wish, he believes he wants Nikki to love him more than anyone in the world. But when he makes this wish, things take a wrong turn as she becomes not just obsessed but possessive with him as things spiral out of control in everyone's lives. The film is an hour and 48 minutes and is rated R. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new review here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Hitterberg. Today I'm talking the brand new horror film Obsession, which has gotten so much heat lately, really over the last 6 months from the festival circuit. And then earlier this year, it was picked up by Blumhouse, giving it this release date. A lot of really good early buzz. Obviously, the director, Curry Barker, just got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake from A24 based off this movie. So this is a filmmaker already making noise in Hollywood even before the film officially hit theaters. And I still thought this movie absolutely delivered. This is a film that, based on my premise, is a movie you probably have seen a lot of times, where someone makes a wish and that wish takes a wrong turn. You've seen that in kids' movies and you've seen that in horror movies. But when you have, not every horror movie needs to have this mind-blowing original plot line. What it needs to have is fresh and original execution on plots and stories that we have seen before. It's also a huge help, and that's exactly what Obsession is. It's a movie that feels familiar, feels like you've seen this type of movie before, but because of the filmmaking from Barker on display and really the execution of this material makes this feel a lot more original and fresh than it actually is. And I want to start with the filmmaking involved here. Curry Barker does an amazing job with the filmmaking because they do a really smart job. Once Nikki, let's just say, becomes bad when she's becoming obsessed with Bear, there's a lot of times where she's in the shadow, she's in the dark, maybe half her face is in the shadow, and they do a really good job making you feel very creeped out about her and the unpredictability of her. Honestly, that comes a lot with the performance from Navarrete, which I'm about to get into. But the filmmaking, it is such confident direction and a confident screenplay that you don't really feel like a guy who's making his first major motion picture in Hollywood. The film balances a lot of different tones as well. At times, this movie can be uncomfortably funny. It can be very cringe-inducing. It can be very dark and serious and heavy, kind of balancing all of those things, but all fits in this plot point. And I think a lot of people are kind of relate to Bear and Nikki. They can relate to you being maybe in love with one of your friends and you're really nervous about pulling the trigger on that. And you're also going to be probably in Nikki's shoes where you feel like someone you know likes you and you just want them to come out and tell you how much they feel. There's a lot of relatability that you can find throughout the movie. But the thing that takes this movie to the next level is the insanely special performance from Indy Navarrete, who I've never seen act before this movie. She's not in a lot of promotion. A lot of promotion rides on that phone call in the scene with Bear, played by Michael Johnston. And Johnston is really good here. He has to be good as well for this movie to work. But Indy Navarrete is unbelievable. This is definitely a horror performance that is one of the most iconic ones over the last decade. Like it's up there with a Toni Collette from Hereditary, or Lupita Nyong'o for Us, or Mia Goth in that X trilogy. This is a special performance where you really do feel like you're seeing an actor get to the next level. She is very charismatic and really innocent, and you really want to root for her for the first act of the movie. And then you're terrified of her for the remainder of the movie. But the thing that the movie and really performance brings through is that you never lose sight that she kind of is being used. the wish happens and she's being tricked. It's not really her inside. And both you feel terrified and you feel bad at the same time. And that's what makes this movie, I think, really stand out. There's no clear-cut heroes, villains in this movie. You feel bad for a lot of people involved. We also, I think, feel the most bad for the person terrorizing the majority of the people in the movie, and that is Nikki. And Navarra is deliciously entertaining. Her laugh is great. She can be quite uncomfortable with the dark humor, but also understood why Bear at times would go along with being with Nikki and why he actually has been wanting this for his entire life and then realizing really it's all in his head, maybe not completely accurate. As I said, it's balancing a lot of different tones. It can be quite scary at times, but I think the more this movie centers itself in reality, I really think this movie works. It's definitely one of the most unique experiences I've had in a theater. My movie theater was laughing in a good way for the majority of the film as well. So this is the type of horror movies I wish were in theaters on a more consistent basis. My only negative with this movie is I do think the writers, Barker writes himself into a minor corner with the last 20 minutes of the movie. There's really only one way for this movie to end that is at least satisfying. And I think with how unpredictable and out there the first two acts of the movie is, I will say the third act, it's not that it's like a safe or a bad ending. It's like it's a good ending, but there could have been a little bit more creativity on how we maybe got to that ending because it just felt like as unpredictable as the first two acts were, the last 15, 20 minutes I thought was extremely predictable. But that's my only main negative with Obsession. It's definitely going to be one of my favorite horror movies of the year. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 and 88%. What are your guys' thoughts on Obsession? Let me know down in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon.